Bom dia! Welcome back. Well, things have been so topsy-turvy the last few days that I haven't shaved in a few days. Gonna shave later today. Anyway, an update on what Brazilians like to call when there's a lot of melodramatic drama happening. A telenovela mexicana. The Mexican soap opera. Although Brazil certainly has their own soap operas in the form of telenovelas, world famous. Anyway, so been thinking a lot about the conflict between my brother-in-law Eliamar and I, and the living situation over the last few days. Got a lot of good comments and advice from you, my viewers. Thank you all for your input. Well, I'm feeling cautiously optimistic that all of this is going to, what is the expression in Brazilian Portuguese? Ficar em pizza? End up in pizza is the expression. It'll all end in a friendly way with everybody sitting around the table eating pizza. That's the idea of the expression. You know, I love Brazil. I love the state of Bahia, and I love the city of Salvador. As I've said before, Salvador, Bahia, Brazil has been good to me, very good to me. And I wouldn't want to see that relationship with Brazil come to an end. But, you know, life happens. And I do have a plan B. Plan B is named Cambodia. And if things do not settle down in the next few days and resolve themselves, then moving to Cambodia might be in my future. But hopefully not. Eliamar, my brother-in-law, and I have still not spoken since all this happened because, you know, he works. His wife, Tanya, has been here. She left now, but she was here for 2 weeks, etc., etc. So, and today he's at work all day. So tomorrow, his next day off, we need to sit down and have a calm, long talk about all this. I'm going to apologize. Does that sound crazy to some of you? Why do I have to apologize? But I'm not going to apologize for what I said, the context of what I said. But I am going to apologize for having said it in front of Tanya, his wife. I think that was the major source of his rage. It wounded his ego. I said some pretty harsh things about the past, and it wounded him. It wounded him in front of his wife. So I will apologize for that. But again, I will not apologize for what I said, just when and where I said it. I'm never, ever again going to allow anyone to treat me like the velho gringo, the old gringo, who pays the rent and sleeps in the living room and puts up and shuts up. Hell no. Now, I'm going to say to him that it's fine if his wife comes and spends every other weekend. Comes in from the small city she lives in, 4 hours away, and spends every other weekend. That's fine. And it's fine if she comes for Carnival next month and spends 4 days. I'm cool with that. But never again 2 weeks without informing me, without consulting with me, without asking, imposing. That can't happen again. Absolutely not. And that's what I'm going to say. And then I'm going to allow him to express what he needs to express, and hopefully it ends in pizza. Ficum pizza. And if not, well, then I'll be putting Plan B into motion, Cambodia, which is not going to happen the following day or the following week or the following month. I'm going to need time to finish paying off my credit card debt and to save some money. I'm thinking mid-August, which is when the lease on my apartment ends. I signed a 1-year lease, and that ends August 15th. So that would be the appropriate time for me to move out of the apartment and move. So we'll see. This needs to be resolved very soon. And I hope it's resolved. And, well, I want it resolved to everybody's favor, and also in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil's favor, because this is where I want to be. I've made a long-term commitment, even a lifetime commitment to Brazil, and I'd like to keep it that way. But I'll keep you updated. The second thing I want to talk about is the state of the world. Well, I've been very, very upset about recent developments. And I'm going to put it this way. In the late 19th century, my paternal great-grandparents, Anders and Maren Hansen, emigrated from Denmark and settled in what was then the territory of Idaho. And now, Trump wants to seize Greenland, a part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Around the same time, in the late 19th century, my maternal great-grandfather, Joseph Gardefeu, left Quebec and settled in the state of Wisconsin. And now Trump wants to annex Canada. In my own life, I've been focused on Latin America for the last 40 years. First in Mexico, where I lived and learned to speak Spanish fluently, and now in Brazil, where I currently live, and where I learned to speak Portuguese fluently. And now Trump is messing with Latin America, invading Venezuela, threatening the Panama Canal, and other parts of Latin America. And I'm livid about it. And I feel strongly that the Trump regime must be defeated. And let's all make that happen, starting with the midterm elections this year. As I said, all of this is starting to feel very personal to me. And there she is, the Farol de Bahia neighborhood, descending down into my neighborhood always puts me in a good mood. Can't stay worried or upset or sad in Salvador for any length of time, because just taking a walk will put you in a good mood. I tend to be an optimist. I hope my long-term future stays right here in Salvador, and I think things will work out. I hope things will work out. See that billboard in front of us on the side of that building? It says Salvador. Capital Afro, Black Power. I love that. It was put up by the city government of Salvador. I'm back home now after my long daily walk. Thank you for joining me and listening. And as always, beijo, ciao.